My girlfriend announced, invited my ex to move in with us. He needs a place and you have the space. I looked at her and said, interesting. Then I gave my landlord 60 days notice, only my name was on the lease. 5 weeks later, she was begging her parents to co-sign a new apartment application. I, 29 male, was loading the dishwasher when Amber, 27, said it. Tuesday night, 8:43 p.m. We'd been together 18 months, living in my apartment for the last 7. Kyle's lease fell through. Kyle, her ex from college, the one who'd been texting her more and more lately. The one she swore was just a friend despite him calling her babe in texts I'd accidentally seen. That sucks for Kyle. Yeah, so I told him he could take your spare room, just until he gets back on his feet. I stopped mid-rinse, put down the plate slowly. You told him what? He can move into the spare room. Stop, it's not like you use it for anything. And he's desperate. His roommate bailed and rent in this city is insane. When did you plan on asking me? She laughed, like I'd made a joke. I'm telling you now, he's moving in Saturday. It'll be fine, babe. 3 months tops. I dried my hands, looked at her. Really looked at her. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting choice. It's not a choice, it's helping a friend. You're not going to be weird about this, right? Nope, not weird at all. She smiled, kissed my cheek. See? I knew you'd get it. You're the best. Went to take a shower. I pulled out my phone and texted my landlord, Greg. Hey man, giving you the required 60-day notice. I'll be moving out when the lease ends. Let me know what you need from me. He responded in under 5 minutes. Sorry to lose you. You've been a model tenant. I'll start showing it in a few weeks. Want to be there for viewings? Nah, you're good. Whatever works. Started scrolling through apartment listings. Found 4 possibilities before Amber got out of the shower. Saturday. Kyle showed up at 11 a.m. with a U-Haul. I helped him carry boxes like nothing was wrong. Amber kept giving me these grateful looks. Thanks for being cool about this, man, Kyle said, dropping a box in the spare room. Amber said you might have an issue, but you seemed chill. Temporary situation, right? Oh yeah, totally. Few months max, get some cash together, bounce. Amber made lunch. We all ate together. She sat between us on the couch, her body angled more toward Kyle than me. Interesting. That first week, small things. Kyle's gym bag by the door, his protein powder taking up half the kitchen counter, his beard hair in the bathroom sink. Babe, can you ask Kyle to clean up after himself? I said Wednesday night. He's going through a lot right now. Cut him some slack. I'm just asking for basic cleanliness. You're being controlling. Controlling. For wanting someone to clean their own beard hair out of my sink. Second week, it escalated. Got home from work Tuesday to find Kyle's friends in my living room. 4 dudes I'd never met, beers everywhere playing my PlayStation. Hey man, hope you don't mind, Kyle called from the kitchen, just having a few guys over. It was 6 p.m. on a Tuesday. I had work in the morning. How long you guys staying? Not late. Maybe midnight. They stayed until 2 a.m. I had a meeting at 8. When I mentioned it to Amber, God, you can't expect him to just sit in his room all the time. He's allowed to have a social life. In my apartment? Our apartment, she corrected. Check the lease. She went quiet. Third week. Thursday night, got home to find my leftovers gone. The salmon I'd bought specifically for dinner, the rice I'd meal prepped, the vegetables I'd chopped that morning. Kyle was on the couch. Oh dude, was that yours? My bad. I'll get you back. That was dinner, Kyle. Yeah, sorry. I was starving after my workout. There's probably a pizza place nearby. Amber walked in. What's wrong? Kyle ate my dinner. She sighed. It's food. Order something. Don't make it a thing. I made that food this morning for tonight. And he ate it by mistake. Let it go. I ordered pizza. Ate it alone in my room. Started apartment hunting more seriously. The real kicker came week 4. Wednesday. Left work early with a migraine. Walked into my apartment at 2 p.m. Found Amber and Kyle on my couch, her legs across his lap, his hand on her thigh, both of them laughing at something on her phone. They jumped when they saw me. Babe, you're home early. Migraine. Kyle stood up quick. Yeah, I should go make some calls. Job stuff. Disappeared into his room. Amber came over, tried to kiss me. I moved my head. You okay? Fine. You seem upset. Do I? If this is about... It's about my head. I'm going to lie down. Got a text from Greg that night. Got someone interested in the place. Want to show it Saturday at noon. You still don't need to be there? Go ahead. Saturday morning. Let's go out for brunch, I suggested. My treat. Amber's eyes lit up. Really? Yeah. Then maybe hit some stores. Make a day of it. Kyle invited himself, of course, took them to a place across town. Long brunch, took our time, drove to some shops, kept checking my watch. 11:50. Good. We got back around 1:30 p.m. Amber stopped at the building entrance. Why is there a lockbox on our door? Is there? Yeah, and a for rent sign. Kyle pointed. In the window too. Huh, weird. Got inside. Amber was already texting Greg. Watched her face go from confused to white to red. You gave notice. I did. When? 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks. You're moving? You're leaving? And you didn't tell me? Didn't think I needed to ask permission. It's my lease. Kyle stepped between us. Dude, what the hell? What? Amber's voice was shaking. Where are we supposed to go? Don't know. You've got 5 weeks to figure it out. 5 weeks? That's not enough time. Was enough time for you to find this place originally. Should be enough now. This is different. We live here. Together. No, I live here. You stay here. Your name's not on anything. She pulled out her phone, actually called Greg right there, speaker on. Greg, hi, this is Amber. There's been a mistake. No mistake, Amber. He gave proper notice. I have new tenants signed already. But I live here. I have rights. You're not on the lease. I'm sorry, but legally you have no claim to the apartment. This is insane. The lease ends in 5 weeks. You'll need to be out by then. I'm sorry. She hung up, stared at me like I'd grown a second head. I cannot believe you did this. Funny, I said the exact same thing when you told me Kyle was moving in. That's not the same. It's exactly the same. You made a unilateral decision about my space. I made one about my lease. Kyle tried to play peacemaker. Look, man, I think we all just need to calm down. I'm extremely calm. I found a new place, gave proper notice, and I'm moving. That's it. Amber's voice went up an octave. Where am I supposed to live? Again, not my problem. You've got 5 weeks. Better start looking. Update 1. The next week was spectacular. Amber immediately called every friend she had. The apartment hunt started. Turns out the rental market is brutal when you make $2,600 a month and have $800 in savings. Most places wanted first month, last month, and security deposit. That's close to $7,000 minimum. She had maybe $1,200 total. Kyle was worse. Between jobs apparently meant unemployed for 8 months. His bank account had $340. They tried finding a place together. Went to viewings as potential roommates. Applications rejected within 24 hours. Amber's entitlement went into overdrive. Monday morning, before work, you need to co-sign for us. Excuse me? Kyle and I found a place. 2-bedroom, decent neighborhood, but we need a co-signer. I laughed. Actually laughed? You want me to co-sign an apartment for you and your ex-boyfriend? You have good credit? Stable income? We can't get approved without help. The answer is no. Just like that, enthusiastically no, emphatically no, no in all languages. You're gonna watch me become homeless? You're not gonna be homeless. You're gonna figure it out. Like an adult. She slammed the door on her way to work. Tuesday, Amber's best friend Liz started texting me. What you're doing to Amber is disgusting. I'm moving out of my apartment. You know she can't afford a place. You're ruining her life. She ruined our relationship. We're even. She made one mistake and you're destroying her. She invited her ex-boyfriend to live with us without asking. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. Blocked her Wednesday night. Heard Amber crying in the spare room, Kyle's room. Heard him comforting her. His voice through the wall. He's being unreasonable. You deserve better. The guy living rent-free in my apartment was telling my girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, really, that I was unreasonable. Thursday, I came home to find Amber's mom, Carol, sitting in my living room. We need to talk. About? About what you're doing to my daughter. Moving out? Abandoning her. Making her homeless, after she's been nothing but good to you. Carol, with all due respect, Amber invited her ex-boyfriend to move into my apartment without asking me. I'm removing myself from the situation. She was helping a friend in need, and I'm helping myself, also a valid need. Where is she supposed to go? She's 27. She'll figure it out. Carol's face went red. I want to buy you out of the lease. Can't buy out a lease, I'm surrendering. The landlord has new tenants. Deal's done. There has to be something. There isn't. She stood up. You'll regret this. Karma is real. So are consequences. She left. Friday night, Kyle tried his approach, found me in the kitchen making dinner. Hey man, real talk? Sure. This whole situation, it got out of hand. But what if we all just started over? I'll pay actual rent, help with everything. We can make this work. I'm moving out in 3 weeks. But what if you didn't? I am. Come on, dude, be reasonable. Where's Amber supposed to go? Literally anywhere, just not with me. That's cold. That's consequences. She made a choice, now she's dealing with it. You're punishing her. I'm protecting myself. Different thing. He tried to stare me down. I went back to cooking. He left. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. my phone rang. Amber's dad, Leonard, never called me before. We need to talk about my daughter. Okay. Carol told me you're forcing her out of her home. I'm leaving my apartment. She's welcome to stay if she can get approved by the landlord for a new lease. You know she can't afford that. That's between her and the landlord. So you're just gonna let her end up on the street? She's got 3 weeks and supportive parents. I'm sure she'll be fine. We can't have her move back home, we don't have space. Then I guess she needs to find a place. You're a real piece of work, you know that? I've been told. He hung up. Sunday I was out getting coffee when I got a text from Amber. Can we talk, please? About? Us. Everything. Please, just give me 10 minutes. Met her at a coffee shop. She looked rough, bags under her eyes, hair pulled back. I made a mistake, she started. Okay. Kyle was a mistake. Inviting him here was a mistake. I should have asked you first. You should have. I'm asking you to reconsider, please. Don't move out. I'll make Kyle leave. It'll just be us again. No. Please. Amber, it's not about Kyle living there anymore. It's about what inviting him showed me. What do you mean? You prioritized your ex-boyfriend's housing situation over my comfort, our relationship, and basic respect. You didn't even think to ask me. You just decided. I said I was sorry, and I accept your apology, but I'm still moving. So that's it? We're done? We were done the second you said Kyle was moving in. I just made it official. She started crying. I don't know what to do. I can't find a place. I can't afford anything. My parents won't help if Kyle's involved. I'm drowning. Then let go of Kyle and figure it out. He has nowhere else to go. Neither do you, apparently. Priorities. I left her there. Update 2. 2 weeks left. The desperation reached new heights. Monday, I came home to find mail opened on the counter. My mail. Credit card offers, bank statements. Who opened my mail? Amber came out of her room. That was me. Why? I was looking for your credit report. I need your information for the apartment applications. You need my what? Your income, your credit score. Some places let you use a guarantor's information. I'm not your guarantor, but you could be. If you just... I opened your mail. That's a federal crime. Don't be dramatic. I was just trying to get out. What? Get out of my apartment now. Take Kyle with you. Come back with Carol and Leonard to get your stuff tomorrow. You're done here. You can't kick me out. I have 2 weeks. Watch me. You committed a federal crime. I could call the cops right now, or you can leave voluntarily. She called my bluff. You won't call the cops? I pulled out my phone, started dialing. Wait. Okay, I'm going. She grabbed her purse, stormed out. Kyle followed looking confused. They came back the next day with Carol, loaded up everything in under 2 hours. The apartment felt bigger immediately. Wednesday, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Answered anyway. Is this Isaac? Who's asking? This is property manager at Riverside Apartments. Amber listed you as a reference. Did she? Yes. She says you're her current landlord? I'm not her landlord. I'm her ex-boyfriend. She's been living in my apartment without being on the lease. Pause. So you can't verify her rental history? I can verify she's never paid rent to me or anyone else, if that helps. That does not help. Thank you for your time. They hung up. Amber called me 30 minutes later, screaming. You sabotaged my application. I told the truth. You told them I don't pay rent. You don't. You never have. You're destroying my life. You're destroying your own life. I'm just not fixing it for you. Thursday, 1 week left. Greg called. Hey, heads up. Amber's been calling me trying to negotiate taking over your lease. Would you tell her? That I already have tenants signed, and she doesn't qualify anyway, but she's persistent. Called 3 times today. Sorry about that. Not your problem. Just wanted you to know she's trying every angle. Friday night. Heard noise outside my door around 11 p.m. checked the peephole. Amber and Kyle in the hallway with Liz and some other friends. They were planning something. Heard Liz, "If his name's the only one on the lease, can't you claim squatter's rights?" Amber, "Maybe, I've been here long enough." Kyle, "We should just refuse to leave. Make him evict us." I opened the door. They all jumped. Squatter's rights require you to live somewhere for years without the owner's knowledge. I know you're here, and you're leaving in 6 days. Try the illegal route. I'll call the cops and have you trespassed. Your choice. Slammed the door. Heard them scatter. Saturday, Carol called again. "We'll pay you $10,000 to let Amber stay through the end of the year." "The apartment's already rented to someone else, Carol. There's nothing I can do." "You're lying. You're doing this to hurt her." "I'm moving to a new place because I don't want to live with my ex-girlfriend and her ex-boyfriend. This is remarkably simple. She has nowhere to go. She has parents, she has friends, she has options. She's choosing to make this harder than it needs to be." "Fine. Then we're taking her in, but you'll regret this." "I really don't think I will." Sunday, 2 days before lease end. Amber showed up with a lawyer. Actually served me with papers in my own apartment. Some kind of emergency restraining order preventing me from forcing her from her home. Called my buddy Theo, who's a paralegal. "This is garbage," he said, reading it. "She's not on the lease. She has no legal standing. Don't even worry about it. It'll get thrown out in 5 seconds. Showed up to the hearing Monday morning. Judge read the filing, looked at my lease, looked at Amber. "Ma'am, do you have documentation showing you're a tenant at this address?" "I've lived there for 7 months. Are you on the lease?" "No, but do you have any written rental agreement?" "No, but I've been paying." "Do you have proof of payment?" "Canceled checks, wire transfers?" "I've been paying for groceries and..." "That's not rent." Motion denied. "This is a civil matter between you and your ex-boyfriend, not a tenant issue." Outside the courthouse, Amber was in tears. Carol was screaming at me, "You're heartless, soulless. What kind of man does this?" "The kind whose girlfriend invited her ex-boyfriend to live with him." "Have a good day, Carol." Final update, moving day Tuesday. Movers showed up at 8 a.m. Everything that was mine, which was basically all the furniture, all the kitchen stuff, all the electronics, got loaded onto the truck. TV, couch, coffee table, dining table and chairs, bed, dresser, bookshelf, microwave, coffee maker, dishes, silverware, toaster. The movers cleaned me out in 3 hours. Amber stood in the empty apartment looking shell-shocked. "You're taking everything? Everything I bought? Yeah. What am I supposed to sit on? Sleep on? Not my problem." Not my problem. Kyle emerged from his room, stopped dead seeing the empty space. "Dude, seriously?" "Seriously." Did a final walkthrough with Greg. He nodded approval. "Place is in great shape. I'll mail your security deposit. Full amount, no deductions." "Appreciate it, Greg. Sorry about all the drama. You handled it well. If you ever need a reference, I'm happy to provide one." Shook his hand, walked toward my car. Amber followed me to the parking lot. "Where are you even going?" "New place. 1 bedroom, better neighborhood, better building. Only $200 more than I was paying here." Her face went pale. "You could afford that the whole time?" "Yep." "Then why?" "Why did I live here? Because the lease was fine and it was close to work." "Why am I leaving?" "Because you made it unbearable." "I made a mistake. I admitted that. Why can't you forgive me?" "Because forgiveness doesn't mean I have to keep living with the consequences of your choices. You wanted Kyle here. Now you've got him. Figure it out together." "We can't find anything. Every application gets rejected. My parents won't help with him around. I don't know what to do." "Sounds like Kyle might be the problem then. He has nowhere else to go." "That's really not my concern." Got in my car. She stood there looking lost. Kyle was on his phone in the parking lot, probably already calling another friend to crash with. Started the engine, drove away. Didn't look back. The fallout was predictable. Amber ended up moving back in with Carol and Leonard. They have a strict no guests policy, which means Kyle couldn't visit. She lasted 3 weeks before Carol started charging her $800 month rent. Last I heard through mutual friends, she's still there, working retail, complaining about how unfair life is. Kyle bounced between friends' couches for about 6 weeks before his parents wired him money to come home. He's back living in his childhood bedroom at 31. Amber tried to maintain the relationship long distance, but he ghosted her after 2 months. Carol and Leonard. Carol blocked me on everything. Leonard sent one email saying I ruined his daughter's life, and he hoped I was proud of myself. I am, actually. Liz in the friend group. Lost about 4 casual friends who thought I was cruel. Kept the real ones who understood boundaries. Worth the trade. The new apartment is incredible. 1 bedroom. Top floor. Huge windows. Actually updated appliances. Got new furniture, stuff I actually like. Set everything up exactly how I want it. Started seeing someone about 2 months after moving. Michelle, pharmacist, has her own place, incredibly clear about boundaries and communication. Told her the whole story on date 3. She invited her ex to move in without asking? Yep. And somehow you're the bad guy? According to her, yeah. She shook her head. People really think actions don't have consequences. They really do. 6 months later, ran into Amber at a restaurant, couldn't avoid it. She was the hostess. Hey, she said quietly. Hey, awkward pause. You look good. Thanks, you too? Another pause. I'm sorry, she said, for all of it. I was selfish. I didn't think about how you'd feel. I just assumed you'd be okay with it because I don't know. I was an idiot. Yeah, you were. Do you think we could ever? No, not even. I'm seeing someone, and even if I wasn't, the answer would still be no, she nodded. Right, of course. Well, I hope you're happy. I am. Good, that's good. She seated my party. Michelle looked at me curiously after. Ex? The ex? The one who invited the other ex to move in? That's the one. Yikes. Yeah, you dodged a bullet there. I really did. Got a text from Greg about 8 months after moving out. Wanted to let me know Amber had contacted him multiple times asking for my forwarding address or phone number. He never gave it to her. Figured you'd want to know. Also, those new tenants I got after you? Nightmares. You were seriously the best tenant I've ever had. Let me know if you ever need a reference. Save that for future use. The revenge, if you can even call it that, wasn't elaborate. No schemes, no public humiliation, no destroyed property. Just pure, simple consequences. She made a decision that showed me where I ranked in her priorities. Below her ex-boyfriend's housing needs, I made a decision to remove myself from the situation. Legally, properly, with full notice. Everything I did was completely by the book, and somehow that made it more satisfying, because there was nothing she could argue, no authority to appeal to, no angle to work, just reality meeting entitlement, and reality won. Still in my apartment. Still with Michelle, still zero regrets. The best revenge isn't dramatic. It's just living better without them.